So, how was it in there? I can see from the evidence you gathered that the memory showed strong emotional readings that point to a pleasant memory. Then again, even happy memories can be locked away for good reasons sometimes. There are at least 2 areas close by that hold memory fragments. These should lead us to more core memories, and hopefully the artifact. From my notes, it seems that you'll need to follow the river further up the valley and see what we can access there. We best get to move on.
There's 4 major sections in this game. The first one we've just finished, which was Pinwheel Harbor. The 4th one, which we can't reach right now, is across that bridge, and that's Pinwheel Village. The other 2 are Brimcliff Mine and Brimcliff Industrial Center. The main entrance to Brimcliff Mine is kind of behind us, but it's been blocked off by a rock slide. This little passageway is our way into the Brimcliff Mine. But we're not going to go there just yet. It makes a little more sense for us to go to Brimcliff Industrial Center first. But the Industrial Center is at the top of this waterway.
The area of the mine that you've just entered seems to be outputting a variety of important memories. There also seems to be a strong signal coming from within it that appears to be in line with what we'd expect from the artifact, the item we're after to make you stronger. With dementia, it's often the patient's short-term memory that begins to falter first. We can use older memories as a seed to help rebuild and validate our patient's life story. The artifact should also help us to avoid another relapse, whilst allowing us to target the amyloid plaques that cause our patient's brain cells to die in the first place.
It's me. Why is it every time I call, I seem to get the machine? I'm gonna have to assume that you're doing okay, since you never call me back. I'm gonna level with you. It's driving me crazy knowing you're in there. Call me, okay?
There is an entrance just next to us or below us to the Brimcliff Mines, but again, I don't want to go there yet. This is the main courtyard for the Industrial Center. This area can be kind of confusing the first time you try to explore it. The main thing to remember is that there are 4 sections. There's the Miner's Dry, the Mill Management, Ore Tramming, and Arsenic House.
I'd hoped this case would have been solved by now. I know, I should take some of the responsibility. But I have given you every resource imaginable to complete this restoration. Just remember that all of this funding is lost if you don't do your job effectively and find that artifact.
Words echoed around the polished wooden room. 16 years old. You know what that means.
Agitated. Not to worry though, they always get worse before they get better. With that said, I have been warned about, well, pushing these experiments too far. But I feel like I can trust you. You will keep this just between us. No one ever didn't say that wasn't what you thought they were. Does that make sense?
The first thing we need to do is get to the rest of this area, which we read has had a collapse of the walkway, and there's a ad hoc rope fix for the lift. So if you have a look up, you will see there's some winches. There's one on this side. That's Arsenic House down there. And now to provide power, we need to set the pressure control levers.
Not many people ever saw the inside of that office. And the ones that had weren't around very long to talk about it.
This area is where a mill manager would run his operations. He spent most of his time looking down over the industrial area.
We can't help you from here onward. What you do with yourself is up to you now. You can plan your own path.
Sorry for cutting Phyllis off there a little bit. I didn't realize that another sound clip would start. You can see our first projector in the office there. And the chalkboard, or putting the information on the chalkboard, will be the key to activating it. Part 1 was us being able to get up here at all in the first place. Before we do the projector, we're going to open the safe. I am sorry about the little delay here. I can't sort of zoom in consistently on the dials in the game for some reason. It's really touchy about where the mouse is pointing. But you'll see the solution is 1845, which was when the mill was established, which was on the wall plaque just outside.
At this time in the evening, all but a few shops in the village were closed for the day. Andrew and his two very worried-looking brothers had made their way past all the other houses and were about to cross the village and head down to the dock. Only one thing stood in their way. Mr. Jefferson, the innkeeper. He was sweeping up for the night. The whole town knew how much pride he took in his work. He might be there for a while. "It's no good. We'll have to go home," said Rob, glad the adventure was over. "Rubbish," barked Andrew. "Let's just wait. It's either that or we can go the long way round by the river." "I can't be bothered with all that," Rob sighed. "The knocker won't mind what time we get there," said Andrew. Rob frowned, feeling a bit silly that he was so taken in by the story, and had agreed to come in the first place.
The barograph. Conveniently, there is a paper nearby for it. We just load it and push the button, and it will give us a readout of high and low pressures. There was a note down in the office, and also in the down the stairs below us, that explains how to read a barograph, and that in conjunction with what type of day is good for shipping.
There's always work to be found around the mines.
Will give us the solution for the next part. Monday is a high pressure day, which means there'll be good weather, so it's good for shipping. And we've seen the shipping manifest downstairs, so we also know where it's going.
The fishing season's about to begin. Not a bad place for someone your age. Most of you end up selling these, but it's meant to be a keepsake to remind you of your time here. We wish you all the best.
I'm referencing the diary once more, and this watch was a gift at the age of 16. As far as I can tell, it might represent a sense of freedom or realization of self-awareness in the world. When I strapped it to the patient's wrist, there was a positive reaction. Although unable to understand how to read the correct time, it was obvious to me that the sensation of the watch on the skin was well received.
There must be a year's worth of undelivered mail all sent at once.
Mill management is done. The light on the board came up from mill management, so that is the first part of the mill working at full capacity, which is what those sounds indicated. That would normally be our route to Brimcliff Village, or sorry, Pinwheel Village.
I wonder if I'm hand-painted too. Do you think it's safe? It's so tall. As soon as we get off this boat, we should take a look at one of those.
Years. I've placed 3 whole years of my life into this research. I have sacrificed so much. Patients with these specific symptoms of dementia and at this stage don't come along often. And to be told that after 3 years of hard work and waiting that I've only 9 days to yield the results that they want. Who the hell do they think they are? It's not my fault. I can only work with the restorers I'm given.